To the point, did it ever get to the point where you thought you would never fight again?
No, but it got to the point that maybe it was never going to be alive again.
And Ariel also said, "Hey man, who's writing your material, dude? Like who's writing your material, Dillon Danis? Huh? Tell the truth, Dillon. Who is writing that material? Is it Chael? Is it Doug Crosby?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Why? You think it's good? Do you think it's good? You like his material? You should take that and you should flip it and you should make it yourself and you should go like this and go, hey, Logan, here are your choices. Take the blue pill and marry this whore that's drank more than you've drank prime while everyone knows it in the entire world, or take the red pill and clip her and acknowledge the fact that your marriage got destroyed by Dillon Danis. Hey, which pill do you want, Logan? Your hands aren't clean yourself. You know, you've kind of gone in the mud. You're like, you mean that he his brother's girlfriend and then made a rap video about it? You mean like that? All right, Monday, the 2nd of October, and we are here on a Monday. We're about to talk about Ariel Helwani and Dillon Danis. Dillon Danis went on Ariel's show. Incredible interview. Put me in a good mood. Now, I am going to show you a bunch of clips, and we have a bunch of things to cover from that interview. Dillon Danis talking about a very hard time that he had where he wanted to end his own life. Big admission there. And then additionally, a bunch of other stuff that I would like to talk about. There's some really serious stuff that came out of this interview and some stuff that's just hilarious that we're going to talk about also. We're going to start with a clip, though, where I'm going to show you an interaction between Ariel and Dillon about the lawsuit. I promise you, this video is not just like about the lawsuit and that's it. But I want to show this to you because I'm going to pose a question to all of you guys, all right? Now, if in this interview there is some kind of structured way that they talk about the lawsuit and it ends up being outright ridiculous propaganda in the direction of supporting Logan Paul, do you think that it's possible that that's unintentional? I'm honestly asking because sometimes I see conspiracies where they're not there. But I'm going to ask you guys when you see this and when you see exactly what Ariel did, if you think maybe, oopsie daisy, look at what we did, or if he really was doing some other thing and then it just happened to end up being propaganda for Logan. All right. So that's where we're going to start after. Well, we're actually not going to start there. That's going to be the second thing that we look at. So where we're going to start is I've got a bone to pick with some of you guys. Not a lot, but some. And here's my bone to pick. And then I'm going to give you some advice. Okay. So I've found that humanity somehow collectively got together and decided that if you are going to correct someone in the comments of some kind of content that they've created, you are required to be a prick, right? So hypothetically, let's say that I made a statement about a movie. Like, let's say I said, Spider-Man No Way Home is obviously the best of the series. I think it's like the eighth installment in the Spider-Man universe, and I think it's the best. If people are going to correct you and tell you that it's the 10th, it's like the 10th instead of the 8th, they'll usually say something along the lines of, are you serious? You call yourself a Marvel fan? That was the 10th installment. And that means we can't trust your stupid opinion about which one was the best. I have an idea. Why don't you go up on a building, jump off of it, and then see if you have spider webs? And that way you'll land on a car, die, and we won't have to listen to your stupid misinformation anymore. And you're like, I mean, Jesus, man. Sorry, it was the 10th installment. Now, that was an exaggeration, obviously, but generally people are real snide when they correct you. They can't help it. It's literally like they can't help it. They are snide every single time. Now, here's what I would suggest to all of you who tend towards snide corrections. If you're going to correct someone, if they sound really confident about a thing that they said, you should start with Google. Just look it up on Google. Make sure that you don't sound snide throwing a correction in the comments when you're going to be 100% wrong, okay? So I said Logan Paul is a billionaire in relation to his lawsuit with Dillon Danis about 100 times last week, right? Did a lot of videos about it, and that was a main point of mine because it makes the lawsuit so egregious. I must have gotten 70 comments among those videos stating, bro, where are you getting your information? Logan Paul is not a billionaire. Chill the F out. Things like that. So everybody can read this with me because even myself, I didn't realize that 10 billion was a real number until I looked this up to show you guys. I just knew it was 100% certain that Prime was a multi-billion-dollar company, but I learned that they have actually sold the company to Coca-Cola for 10 billion. Him and KSI founded it. I would call it nearly impossible that Logan owned less than 30% of the company, even given that they might have taken in significant investment dollars. So of this 10 billion in a pre-tax capacity, and by the way, you don't pay taxes the same on acquisitions, he probably made around $3 billion. And a lot of that probably came in the form of Coca-Cola stock. So, he's already worth millions. He probably just has like billions of dollars in Coca-Cola stock. So this is what it is. Okay. He is a billionaire. I take no pleasure in showing this to you except to say you were wrong and don't be a prick in my comments. Now, if you want to make up for what you did and we can handshake and be friends now, you could subscribe to the channel. We actually have a thriving community of like-minded and similar people in that none of us are billionaires. None of us are billionaires, dude. We're all in this together. None of us are billionaires. And so if you're not a billionaire, this is the place for you. Now, I also want to thank the sponsor of this video, Yo Kratom. That's YOKRATOM. If you don't know what Kratom is, don't worry about it. But if you are a Kratom user, I promise you're paying significantly more than you need to because Yo Kratom sells kilograms for $60 and it gets here in 2 days as consistently as Amazon. All right, so I'm not going to keep you in suspense. We're going to go straight to that first clip that I alluded to, and you guys can tell me if you think that Ariel did this on purpose, if this was calculated or if it just accidentally happened and happened to be propaganda for Logan. And then we're going to go into a lot of stuff that Dillon talked about Nina, unrelated to the lawsuit, and that's what we're going to do. Let's rock.
Dillon Danis, why are you picking him to fight?
Did I ever say fuck Dillon Danis?
You never give me any credit.
Did I ever say fuck Dillon Danis?
Okay, real quick though, Ariel may not have said F Dillon Danis. What he said was when Logan Paul told him that he picked Dillon Danis, that Ariel said, hey, what did I say to you? And Logan said, you said he doesn't deserve me. You're like, yeah, that's right. I said Dillon doesn't deserve you. Okay, like tomato guy. You might not have said F Dillon Danis, but you said he's unworthy of you. That is worse. Like I said, dude, Dillon and Ariel seem to be friendly. But come on, dude. If you say, I mean, you already talked about Dillon to Logan publicly. You can't pretend like you didn't. You said he doesn't deserve you. What? I mean, you know what I mean? That's the same as F Dillon Danis.
Pretty sure, yeah.
No, put number 2. We have 2. I've never said it.
I'll fucking pull up a video
There
of
it
you
is.
basically saying.
Okay, so, and as preface, the lie counter is what we are talking about here. That's essentially what my question is. Do you think that the Dillon Danis lie counter was specifically to make a game out of it between him and Dillon, or do you think that he was using that intentionally to skew the story between Dillon and Logan in the direction of Logan, where Ariel could call out lies on him, okay? Where you'd be like, that's a lie, because he calls out a very specific lie right here that is ludicrous to call a lie. Ludicrous. Here we go.
Just because you don't say fuck Dillon Danis.
But I don't say that. What I said was...
And then you let Logan come in here and just fucking talk whatever shit he is. He didn't even fucking say anything to him.
By the way, before the interview,
as
I said...
As an MMA guy, you should say you don't sue the fucking guy that's your partner. And
by the way, Dillon obviously watches my channel. He quotes my videos over and over and over. Now, I sent them to him and I know he watched them, but I'm just saying, I am glad that I was able to contribute positively to this interaction because Ariel should answer these questions.
Fucking selling the
He's
fight.
not suing you.
Oh,
He's not suing you. 3.
Boom. Boom. That's a lie. That's a lie. Ariel banged him on a lie on that. Because Dillon Danis said Logan Paul's suing me, and he goes, bam, lie. He's not suing you. Really? Really? Is that how that works? Is that how that works? Let me ask you a question. Could Logan sue Dillon Danis for what he had posted on Twitter? Is that a thing that he could do? No, and you know it's not, because later, when Dillon says, I could have sued Logan for calling my mom a prostitute, Ariel says, no, you couldn't. Your mom could. You couldn't. And Dillon goes, that's true. I mean, I could facilitate that. Okay, exactly, dude. So calling that a lie is ludicrous. They're engaged, bro. You're married with kids. You know that. Saying it's not him is absurd. Logan couldn't do it if he wanted to. How? He can't sue him on behalf of Nina. She has to do it. Of course it's Logan doing it, dude. Let's continue.
He's not suing you.
Who's suing me?
His fiance.
Yeah, who do you think calls the shots?
Oh, well, I don't know, actually.
Come on.
You think it's Logan calling the shots?
Of course he is.
You think that she would sue Dillon Danis without Logan's okay? Come on, dude.
Okay, so you're saying that he's suing you.
She doesn't have money. She's using his money for the fucking lawyer.
What's the status of the...
Still going. It's going. Yeah, it's bullshit. He's the first fighter in history to sue.
Watch this. Now, Ariel is going to bang him on a lie about that too. He's about to go, boom, lie. He's going to hit him with the lie count on that. When has a fighter sued another fighter? And he's doing it because semantics. A fighter hasn't sued another fighter. Like a fighter has sued another fighter over different things. Like as an example, Logan Paul had to sue Floyd Mayweather because Floyd didn't pay him. You think I'm against him suing him for that? I don't care if that was going to bankrupt Mayweather. That's fine. He owes you that money. You guys signed a contract. He owes you that money. Suing him for that is fine. Okay, obviously the implication is that no one sued a fighter over fight hype. Obviously. And right now, he's going to bang him for a lie. Watch.
That's not true.
That is true. Look it up.
See?
You can't see that as a fucking lie when you don't know.
What are you talking about?
You don't know.
In the history of fighting,
There
no
has
one has
never
ever
been
sued
another
anyone
fighter to sue in the lead up to a fight.
because of something involving a fight. You have to finish the sentence.
Yeah, this is involving the fight. This is a fight game.
But he's not the one suing. It's his
You can't
fiance.
say that he's not. You don't think
but
that
you-
she went through him to sue?
I don't know. I don't know what the status is.
don't
All I
know
know
about
that
your
if you,
dynamic,
if,
but
if,
you obviously-
If you're telling me that you think, oh my God. Again, so full disclosure, this has been the longest process that I've ever had filming a video, and I'll tell you why. Because I filmed basically this entire thing, and I did it with an energy of, I think Ariel was pretty cool in this interview, you know, they seem to have good banter. And then I got all the way to this one because for some reason left this at the end because I was like, all right, look, I already covered the lawsuit. I don't want to bore them with more stuff about the lawsuit. And then I saw this and I was like, wow, dude. And it just reframed the whole thing. He's smiling in his face. He's making jokes about it and all that. But bottom line, he's like, okay, that's cool that you guys are joking around together. Okay, there's only one part of this interview that's going to have any lasting implications on either guy's life, and it's about the lawsuit. And when you got to the lawsuit, when I watched it again, I was like, wow, dude. He's got the lie counter out on him. Dude, Ariel is a lot of things. Stupid ain't one of them. Okay? If Dillon Danis last week, Logan Paul went on fill in the blank dumbbell MMA interviewer, do you think that I'm going to hammer them about not talking about, hey, you really should have gone at him about the lawsuit? Of course not. I'm hammering Ariel because he's a smart person. He has this thing surrounded in his brain. He's making a choice to back Logan on this. He's making a choice to back Logan. Why? Explain yourself, dude. Explain yourself. Because, his fiance is doing it? No. There's no way Ariel's that stupid. There's no way that he believes that Logan Paul, billionaire, who's engaged to model, had nothing to do with the fiance suing Dillon Danis, who is a person that he's in a business partnership with. It's like there's no way that Jesse on Fire knew that this Waterloo can had orange writing on it. It's just like there is no way that Ariel doesn't understand that. Why are you pretending like you don't understand? Why? What do you get out of this, dude? Seriously, I don't understand. Everybody else is on the right side of this. Why are you pretending? I don't get it. Anyway, let's continue.
If you look at the lawsuit, it's Nina versus you essentially, right?
Oh my God.
It's not.
Who wears the pants? You guys are the same. You guys both,
Now you're getting into. See, now you're getting defensive.
I'm not getting
personal.
defensive because I'm just telling the truth, and you try to say.
But you said that it was gonna potentially put you in jail. There's no jail.
If I, yeah, of course there is.
No, there isn't.
So if I go and post another picture, I won't go to jail.
No, that she's suing you. She wants a restraining order.
Okay, she got the restraining order.
Temporary.
Okay. So Ariel, you know this for sure. Have you looked at the lawsuit? I don't know. You've looked at the lawsuit, so you know this for sure?
Right?
There's a lot of things that go into it, Ariel. I know you don't understand things. You didn't go to college, but
I did go to college. Did you go to college?
Fucking community college?
Okay, Dillon is hilarious. Okay, look, I just want to reiterate that after we get through this section, this banter is great. Like this, I found this interview fantastic. It's really fun. But like I said, if I don't follow up what I've been talking about with this section, what are we talking about? Because Ariel very clearly is on Logan's side on this, and I can't fathom why.
Fucking
I went to
Brooklyn or
Syracuse University, the best broadcasting school in America. Wait, what college did you go to, by the way?
Don't worry about it. School of Hard Knocks.
You and Jay-Z.
Yeah, I got a master's degree in marketing.
In street sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me,
I mean, Dillon is one of the most fantastic marketers ever.
Actually, legit, from your
What?
perspective, what is the status of this?
It's ongoing. I don't know. I mean, I have like 4 or 5 cases against me.
Why 4 or 5?
Because every single time it's a thing. It's like 2 of a picture, 1 of a defamation of character, which I could sue him for, which is like we can get into a suing battle. That's what he wants to do.
Why? Why could you sue him for defamation?
Because he called my mom a prostitute, and she's so that's
So she could probably sue him, not you.
yes, but that I obviously she would go through a media, and I would say no because I'm gonna break this kid's face, and that's what Logan should be doing. If you wanted to,
Okay, at least Ariel is consistent. I will give him that. At least he's consistent. Okay? He is ignoring obvious human like knowledge, right? There is no way. Well, actually, I take that back. Well, no, I don't. But there is a much more likely scenario where a guy's mom would sue someone without their son's okay than there is of a fiance suing their billionaire fiance's dude without his okay. So this clip right here is actually really serious. Dillon talks about a dark time that he had. He talks about potentially not wanting to live anymore. And when he gives his reasons, I think this is important to talk about because it goes into the experience of a fighter and something a lot of these guys experience that I've talked about a million times, but especially exacerbated because of Dillon's situation at the time. And I want you guys to take this and then look at the rest of everything through the lens of he's a human. Like he's a real person that goes through all the same stuff as everybody else. He trolls people, whatever. But just watch this and then we're going to discuss it afterwards.
It got dark, right?
Yeah.
Drinking.
yeah,
To the point, did it ever get to the point where you thought you would never fight again?
no, but it got to the point that I maybe was never gonna be alive again.
You thought about suicide?
I'm not gonna get into this. This is very personal, but I don't. You know, I like to say like there's a lot of people with a lot more problems than me, so like my problems shouldn't.
Why was it so dark?
Dude, you go from fucking training and being so good, and then just sitting there in a fucking cast, can't move. You don't know if you're ever gonna be the same. There's people. I was just talking about. You saw that guy that broke his leg, Nick Chubbs.
Yeah.
That he tore less ligaments than me.
Okay, I could stop it there and talk about what I need to talk about here, right? So he talks about how, again, like you heard what he said. You go from training every day, being super good, to laying at home and not being sure if you're ever gonna be the same again. Okay, look, like for people who are pro fighters, for people who are pro surfers, things like that, pro tennis players, whatever, where their whole life has been this sport and they've excelled in that sport. What people don't think about is the routine of that life, okay? You wake up, you go train, you go home. You eat, you rest, you go train, you get prepared for your upcoming event, and then you have that event. When you get injured and you do not have an upcoming event, especially like he said, he had a really serious knee injury, so you're talking about multiple years. The time off, it's not like when you get an injury, okay? I mean, I'm assuming if you're not a professional, right? If you're not a professional or you're not a college athlete, even college athlete, you have other things. Like for regular people, it's not the same. You struggle through your regular life and you deal with your injury. For regular people, the only way you can understand is if you've gone through a long period of unemployment where you are looking and can't find something, like or at the very least where you feel completely hopeless and you have nothing to do day to day, because that's exactly what it is. They have nothing to do. I have gone through this and I can describe it exactly to you, right? Where I had no options, right? We've talked about this. I built a company. We thought we were going to be on Esquire. We sold the company. I made millions of dollars. We lost that because, I've told you guys this story. And then I went to where I did not have any idea what I was going to do for a good, like 8 months? May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 8 months. 8 months, okay? The days are like months, all right? You lay on the bed and the sound of the fan was like I can't even explain to you what that felt like. Like the sound of the fan, boom, 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 boom. Each time it goes around feels like an entire day passes. And gardening tools, the sound of people working and you have nothing to do. Man, I won't wish it on anybody. I'm sure that there are a lot of you guys that know exactly what I'm talking about. Those empty days, listening to gardening tools, listening to the fan, hell on earth. I did a much longer version of this entire thing that's in members only. So if you want to check out much more about my own story related to that, you can. That's in members only. A couple other things I wanted to cover on this video. I wanted to say this. Now, they talked about Nate Diaz, Dillon Danis. Like there was something about Nate Diaz, Dillon Danis that came up, and I didn't really understand what they were saying, but I was hit in the face with a tidal wave of reality when I said, oh my God, can you imagine if they did Nate Diaz versus Dillon Danis in boxing? That would be a huge, huge co-main event. Can you imagine Dillon Danis trolling Nate Diaz and vice versa? It would be incredible. I can't stress this enough. I fully sign off on that happening. For 100% sure. They should make that happen. They should do it, co-promote, whatever. But that should happen for sure. I am on board with that. Also, Dillon should always wear sunglasses in his interviews. I don't like it when anyone else does it. For him, it's great, dude. It is fantastic. And Ariel also said, hey, man, who's writing your material, dude? Like, who's writing your material, Dillon Danis? Huh? Tell the truth, Dillon. Who is writing that material? Is it Chael? Is it Doug Crosby? And I was like, wait, what? Why? You think it's good? Do you think it's good? You like his material? Your hands aren't clean yourself. You've kind of gone in the mud. You're like, you mean that he f***ed his brother's girlfriend and then made a rap video about it? You mean like that? You should take that and you should flip it and you should make it yourself and you should go like this and go, hey, Logan, here are your choices. Take the blue pill and marry this whore that's drank more cum than you've drank prime while everyone knows it in the entire world, or take the red pill and clip her and acknowledge the fact that your marriage got destroyed by Dillon Danis. Hey, which pill do you want, Logan? There's only one way that I can explain to you guys how I felt when Dillon put that meme up after I suggested it. That red pill, blue pill thing, I'm going to show you exactly how I felt.
Always says I'm using my mouth to get my opportunities. The only person I know that made money using their mouth is his ex-wife.
Well, just to correct you, it was never no marriage. That's what you call class right here compared to no class.
That was a nasty line.
No class. No class at all. That's why you see him with thongs and fucking jeans and a t-shirt. No class.
They don't call you the bad guy for nothing.
You won't convince me there's ever been a better line in the history of combat sports than that one that Chael dropped on Tito. Not ever. Now, let's continue and let's get out of this thing because I've been talking long enough. So, here is where I'm going to move over to Nina Agdal. All right. So, I listened to what Ariel said, which was, now Ariel very consistently kept saying, well, dude, you're not attacking Logan. You're attacking Nina. I mean, like, do you think people really care about this fight because you're attacking Nina or like the things you say about Logan? And Dillon's like, what are you talking about? Dude, I went at him for Crypto Zoo. I went at him for Juice. I went at him for this. And like, first of all, it's absurd. It's absurd that Ariel would think that there's any scenario where this fight is not being heavily promoted by the fact that Dillon went at Logan's fiance, who is incredibly famous, okay, incredibly successful. It's so ludicrous, dude. I don't even understand. I don't understand. Again, I just think Ariel is too smart for this. I also want to say again, I have no issue with Logan whatsoever except for the lawsuit. That's it. Drops a lawsuit, me and him are good. Now, if we want to play the game, if we really want to play the game of, oh, it's not Logan, it's Nina, then okay. All right. Let me show you guys something, or let me just bring something up. Have you guys seen the interview where Nina Agdal said the following? She said, well, if you want to blow up, just show a nipple. Just show a nipple. If that's what you want to do, just show a nipple. Have you guys seen that? Because if you think I'm making it up, just go look it up. So I just want to make sure, I just want to make 100% certain that we understand each other. She said, just show a nipple to get famous. And now she has an issue because Dillon shared publicly available photographs of her and then one video of whatever. Now, another thing that Dillon said that I think is notable, I do believe that he has more pictures, okay? Like Dillon was like, dude, you have no idea how bad this chick really is. He's like, you should see. I think Dillon should have showed Ariel, actually, that's a little bit. I was going to say, maybe he should have showed Ariel the picture that he has and just go, do you think that Logan should marry this girl without knowing this? And then just see what Ariel said. Maybe. But that's risky. I would say that that's risky given that there's a lawsuit on the table, because how would Dillon have that picture? Now, Dillon obviously brought up the fact, he's like, do you really think I'm smart enough to have hacked her account? Another thing that I've said a million times, like, you really think I hacked her Snapchat? You know, you really think I hacked her Snapchat? Of course I didn't hack her Snapchat. But if he really does have these pictures, it's like, you know what, dude? Honestly, it is very, very possible that someone who had them sent them to Dillon, dude. High likelihood, man. High likelihood. And listen, like, think about Adam. So this weekend, I'm going to Miami, and we're going to Mike McDaniel and his wife's, Mike McDaniel's daughter's birthday party. And then we're going to the Dolphins game in coach's wife's box, they're very close friends of ours. And then on Saturday, I'm going to Valuetainment to go check out their offices, etc., trying to do big things. I told you guys, I'm going to have the biggest show in the world soon, soon as in like, a number of years. Valuetainment, I am a huge fan of them, and I have a million questions that I can ask them about how they did what they did. But nonetheless, I'm going there. And at Valuetainment, someone who is relevant to the story is Adam. He's the one that said Nina Agdal had sex with him and 3 of his friends, and he volunteered that on the podcast. I bring that up for one specific reason. Guys have a broken brain when it comes to the following. If a girl comes up that you have had a sexual conquest with, it's as if we can't help ourselves. It's like, hey, do you know Jennifer Tilly? And you're like, Jennifer Tilly from Sacramento? Yeah, dude, I hit that. It's like Neanderthal brain. You can't help yourself. I don't know why. I've told this story before, and I'll tell it one more time here because this is one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. Because I'm not saying this like this is like a good thing. One of my really close friends from high school, okay, he goes, so this is like 2015. So I'm in Utah. I remember exactly where I was because I was like, if something happens where you're super embarrassed, if you get super angry, embarrassed, whatever, like it burns itself into the brain. I was in a rental car. I was out front of a building in Utah. Anyway, it doesn't matter why I was there. I take a call from one of my really good friends from high school, and he's like, hey man, he's like, dude, I won't say her name, but this girl who went to our high school and then our college. I didn't even know her in high school, but in college I smashed, right? So he's like, hey, you know that? He's like, do you know her? Now, if I would have taken 1 second to think to myself, why is he asking me if I know her? Then I would have said, oh, I bet he's dating her. Because why else would this be coming up, right? Like, why else would this possibly be coming up? Why would he be asking me? But I didn't even take 1 second to think about it. And so I was like, oh yeah, dude, I smashed that in college. And as soon as I said it, then it dawned on me because I said that before even thinking, right? First thing, oh yeah, I smashed that in college. And then I just felt this, like, my chest sink in as there was like a silence over the phone. I was like, oh God, he's together with her. Not only are they together, she's pregnant with his kid. So that idiotic instinct that we have put me in a position where I just told one of my best friends from high school that I haven't seen in forever that the girl he's in love with, that he's having a kid with, I was in that, dirtbag Jesse was all up in his girl. So I spent the next 5 minutes stumbling around explaining that she clipped me. Oh man, good for you. She was smart enough to get rid of me. That's not really what happened. We didn't have a lot of chemistry, dude. She's fun, fun like that. But like, I couldn't talk to her, man. It was really weird. Like, she was beautiful. I just like could not, so have you guys ever dated like a girl short or long term where it feels like, like with Gabrielle, I've always had the most clear and open communication lines. Like Gabi and I, it's like, it's effortless, dude. It's always been completely effortless between me and her. I've never felt any kind of friction in our communication or anything with her. Nothing. Just easy. And with that girl, it might have been the most extreme version of that, where I'm like, I would like say something and then she would just like, and she'd be like, so blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is probably the least compatible person I've ever been around. She was just so hot, dude. Anyway, but that was an absolutely mortifying experience, right? But in that vein, let's say hypothetically that you had some very compromising photographs of you or your friends dicking down one of the most famous guys in the world's new fiance. And he's a person that a lot of people don't like. And you might not really like him very much, you know? And a guy like Dillon is trolling the whole world by posting photographs of her. Do you think it's impossible that a person would just go on Twitter and send him those pictures? Or go on Instagram and DM him those pictures? Because I don't. I think that's extraordinarily likely, actually. I think it's very likely that's exactly where he got them. So, that's what it is, man. That is what it is. I've probably been talking long enough. This is probably long enough. I am rooting for Dillon. I cannot wait to see this fight. I think that Dillon not having a coach and not having a corner man and any of that stuff like that, it sucks. He's smaller than Logan. I mean, geez, he's got an uphill battle here. But I really hope he wins. I really do. And just to reiterate, I got no issue with Logan as soon as he drops a lawsuit. You know? It's one of those things that you can take back. Like normally if a person does something this egregious, it's kind of irreversible. You know what I mean? Like something that would make me this mad generally is something that you can't take back. This is easy. Just drop it, dude. You're wrong. Like you're in the wrong. Just drop it and it's over. You know? And Ariel, I thought that was a good interview, but like, I can't tell if you're doing this to kiss Logan's ass because you want access or what. Like you've weighed this out and like Dillon is, you know, like access to Logan's more valuable or something. I don't understand because like you're saying things that are like you're obviously too smart to not know. So I'm confused. But that was a very entertaining interview. That's what I got. Peace.